We will strengthen our security by building missile defense, restoring our military might, and standing by and strengthening our intelligence officers. Nobody and nothing will stop Russia on the road to strengthening democracy and ensuring human rights and freedoms. The Republicans claim they are for strengthening Pell Grants when the truth is that over the last 4 years, their legislation has done the exact opposite. The Mariel boatlift was probably one of the most strengthening events of the exile community, maybe Nietzschean, in the sense that if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Profitability, growth, and safeguards against existential risks are crucial to strengthening a company's long-term prospects. But if these 3 factors constitute a company's hard power, firms also need soft power, public trust and acceptance, won by fulfilling a company's social responsibility. Core strengthening is key to everything. It's not just about the way I look, but about stabilizing my body so I can perform better on stage. In fact, the recent increase in intra-firm trading enables businesses to shift their activities across borders smoothly, thereby strengthening the response of economic activity to exchange rate movements in the long run. I'm loving the ingredients that are in Pantene, and it smells so good, and that's important to me. It has cassia and aloe vera. The cassia flower is really good for strengthening hair strands and the aloe is wonderful for moisturizing. All systems in Pakistan appear to be in a haste to achieve something, which can have both positive and negative implications. Let us take a pause and examine the 2 fundamental questions. 1. Are we promoting the rule of law and the Constitution? 2. Are we strengthening or weakening the institutions? Defense was an afterthought, prompted by necessity, and its introduction as a state function, though effected doubtless with a view to the strengthening of the state, was really and in principle the initiation of the state's destruction. It's about strengthening the relationship and the bond of parent to child. I exercise 3 to 4 times a week, doing the Tracy Anderson method, which involves toning and strengthening our small muscle groups. The strengthening of our statehood is, at times, deliberately interpreted as authoritarianism. I want to focus on the importance of supporting marriage. I always speak about the need to respect everyone's human dignity, regardless of their sexual orientation. I think strengthening marriage is something that benefits everyone. The Children's Safety Act will help protect children from the perpetrators of these vile crimes by strengthening notification requirements for sex offenders and increasing criminal penalties. The chief symptom of adolescence is a state of expectation, a tendency towards creative work, and a need for the strengthening of self-confidence. Suddenly, the child becomes very sensitive to the rudeness and humiliations which he had previously suffered with patient indifference. Social conservatives are very focused on strengthening the family, and I think they are right to do so. One of the worst blind spots of the left has been its reluctance to say that marriage matters for children. There's no conscious plan here. My whole life in politics as a state legislator and in Congress has been about strengthening the middle class. Israel is our greatest ally in the Middle East, and it's a relationship we should be strengthening, not weakening. Past conference topics have included strengthening the role of fathers in children's lives, the impact of the media culture on children, the delicate balance between work and family involvement in education. Doing all we can to combat climate change comes with numerous benefits, from reducing pollution and associated healthcare costs to strengthening and diversifying the economy by shifting to renewable energy, among other measures. I don't like to diet, so I work out with a trainer a few times a week. We do kickboxing and strengthening. It's hard. I also do yoga and love to walk everywhere. I live in Brooklyn, so walking is the best way to discover the city and the neighborhoods. Strengthening our identity is one way of reinforcing people's confidence and sense of citizenship and well-being. I'm quite into fitness, and I have a fantastic personal trainer who knows me, knows my body, knows when to push me, and knows when not to push me. She doesn't make me do 20 burpees in a row and instead focuses on strengthening my core, telling me we need to focus on making me into a tall giraffe. A key to strengthening spiritual muscles and enduring hardship is finding strength in the Word of God. Quite simply, federal laws already on the books aimed at stopping the flow of illegal immigration must be enforced. Furthermore, states must be given the resources necessary to confront the problem, which includes strengthening the border patrol. My UN 5-point plan focuses on preventing proliferation, strengthening the legal regime, and ensuring nuclear safety and security, an effort that was given good momentum by the Nuclear Security Summit held in Seoul earlier this year. The world is overarmed, and peace is underfunded. Nothing stops the man who desires to achieve. Every obstacle is simply a course to develop his achievement muscle. It's a strengthening of his powers of accomplishment. Maternity leave and parental leave is absolutely vital for strengthening families. It's an issue for men and women. When we are afraid, we ought not to occupy ourselves with endeavoring to prove that there is no danger, but in strengthening ourselves to go on in spite of the danger. Perhaps we underestimated the challenges in Afghanistan in the past. That's why we are now strengthening and intensifying our commitment. They take pride in their schools. They begin to participate, when they are renters, they don't do that. So what we're doing by this program is strengthening America. You can't really escape the fact that more reasonable gun regulations and procedures need to be in place, a strengthening and tightening of the national background check system. I don't know why any civilian would ever be able to purchase an assault weapon or the parts that go with it. Preventing conflict means going back to basics, strengthening institutions and building resilient societies. The Greeks possessed a knowledge of human nature we seem hardly able to attain to without passing through the strengthening hibernation of a new barbarism. Our focus needs to be on freeing dissidents and continuing to support the opposition movement within Cuba, not rewarding Castro and subsidizing and strengthening his totalitarian regime. Music does a lot of things for a lot of people. It's transporting, for sure. It can take you right back, years back, to the very moment certain things happened in your life. It's uplifting, it's encouraging, it's strengthening. Money never seems to be interested in strengthening regulatory agencies, for example, but always in subverting them, in making them miss the danger signs in coal mines and in derivatives trading and in deep-sea oil wells. Pilates is my favorite core strengthener. I do it 3 or 4 times a week. With all the strengthening and lengthening, it's like ballet. Plus, you get to do it lying down. I believe I am strengthening the Constitution with my case. On the monetization front, our strengthening leadership in internet user base and broadening reach of our platform have already positioned us as a must-buy platform in online video for brand advertisers to reach a nationwide audience within China. Struggle is strengthening. Battling with evil gives us the power to battle evil even more. The only means of strengthening one's intellect is to make up one's mind about nothing, to let the mind be a thoroughfare for all thoughts. We can boost our immune systems by strengthening our social networks and decreasing stress. I will aim to restore the Japan-US alliance and Japan's strong diplomatic capabilities. Japan can't pursue a strong foreign policy without strengthening its alliance with the United States. Fundamentally, I believe that the U.S. can improve its international standing and its national security by expanding trade and strengthening its relationships with moderate Muslim countries. I am committed to strengthening our agricultural economy by protecting the unique interests of small and medium-sized family farms so that they can continue to operate. There's no doubt that the squad needs strengthening if we are to get back up among the top 3 because they are operating on another level to us at the moment. Today, bilateral relations with Britain are excellent, with cooperation in many areas and both countries continuing to work on strengthening these ties. I'm always willing to have a conversation about strengthening our national security in a long-term, comprehensive, and cost-effective manner. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.